Hello again, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Carr, and this is Cars, Cards, and Coins. I am sorry that I haven't made a video in a few days. When I did my last video, I was feeling really bad, and after that video, a few hours later, I got extremely sick. And I think I had one of the worst cases of the flu that I've ever had in my life. And I am starting to feel a lot better. I still have like a little cough, but I am definitely starting to feel a lot better. But before we move on in the series, I think next I'm going to do the silver certificates, the blue label, yellow label, red seal, blue seal. But before I do that, I wanted to make this video to kind of get me back in the swing of things because I'm still very new. I think this is my 8th or 9th video, so I'm still learning. And for those that have left me and given me some ideas, I did order me a stand for my phone. I have that coming in. And someone told me to get me something black, like a black sheet or something. And I did order me one of those. So hopefully those things will help. So if anyone has any tips, always feel free to tell me in the comments, ideas that you have. But while I was sick, I didn't go to work for a few days. So tonight I'm just going to talk, about the LBMA, the London bullion market, and some Canadian silver dollars. Just give some idea, a idea for new collectors where to start. Canadian silver is a great place to start because you can get it very low, to spot price. You can get Canadian silver dollars. Let me be clear. Canadian maple leafs do carry a pretty hefty premium. But the Canadian silver dollar, you can usually get those pretty close to the silver spot price. And that's what it's all about. But first, I'm going to talk about the LBMA because I was sick for a few days, so I looked on YouTube, and there are all these videos like they always are. World is ending. The world is ending. The gold market is crashing. They can't fulfill their contracts. You better run out and take your life savings and buy gold right now, or you're gonna miss out. FOMO, fear of missing out. And I don't have a bunch of charts to sit here and go through. First of all, my videos, if you are a central bank, this video is probably not for you. If you are a millionaire, this video is not for you. I am talking to the average person, to the average collector, the guy that buys 7 or 8 ounces a week, the guy that buys 2 or 3 ounces of gold a year. That's who I'm talking to. The guy that buys a couple of Morgans a week. The worst thing you can do is to buy gold and silver emotionally. That is the worst thing you can do. And it's kind of what they want you to do. Because if you look at how they advertise and how they set up their videos, most of the people that have these videos where they're talking about, and they're talking about the LBMA, if you look at who they're affiliated, normally it is a company that sells gold and silver. And normally it is someone who owns a coin shop. And I have nothing against that. But they're trying, because gold and silver for the average person, it is not a good investment. So one of the ways that they get someone that should not necessarily be buying it as an investment is they get you emotional. You know, the world is ending, or the gold market is in trouble. The LBMA is having and did have some trouble with how many ounces, you know, over 300 million ounces, you know, that they were, you know, had going out. Couple of things, you know, I don't think there are any more good delivery refiners over in the UK anymore. I don't think there is. That can have a huge impact. So you got to keep that in mind. Second thing, the COMEX in America is fine. The reason why the COMEX did have some of the premiums and stuff that they were putting on, you know, it was more because all the, you know, a lot of gold was coming from London to the U.S. A lot of that was more about risk management than it was about, you know, a shortage problem. You know, when you are the average person, it's more about risk management. There was a supply issue. That's a better way to say it. You got to also remember, you're talking about central banks. They're having trouble with the supply, or they will fix it too. But the majority of their problem was central banks were buying. Central banks are their, you know, hands down biggest customers. You know, so I mean, if you're a central bank, I mean, I can't try to calm down but the point is, if you are the average person, you shouldn't be buying based on what central banks are doing. You have to calm down when you start seeing videos like that, or advertisements, last chance. Number one, there's never going to be the last chance. That's never going to happen. You always need to take a step back, take a breath, and relax. They are going. The gold market will absorb the problem. It will be dealt with. It will be fixed. This is not an issue. Gold has not been directly impacted by tariffs. Gold is going high right now. A lot of it is due to the tariffs. No one can ever tell you exactly when to buy. Now, a few days ago, people that do keep up with it, you know, a couple of days ago, when silver went down, I knew that the tariffs were coming into effect at midnight. I did buy a little bit of silver, and it went up. But that, you know, silver is going to come back down. It's going to go up over time with inflation, you know, over the next 10, 15 years. You know, silver is always going to go up. I mean, look at what silver was 30, 40 years ago. You know, except for in the 80s, that had nothing to do with silver. That was a fabrication. When it went up, I think in 2011, what was happening in the world? The world was falling apart. And silver went up. That is what is going to keep silver going up. And gold. Is money printing, inflation, supply, demand. But over time, it will always go up. But you cannot buy gold and silver on emotion. When you see a bunch of videos talking about last chance, buy now, you have to stop, take a step back. And, I'm not set up yet to put up a bunch of charts, and a bunch of graphs. Just take your phone and, like I said, in 1980s and 2011, you cannot count the silver price going up in 1980. In the 1980s, you can't count that. But if you go look at silver over the last 20, 30 years, it has always gone up. Same with gold. So, and it keeps up with inflation. And that is why I say to the average person, you cannot buy gold and silver on emotion. You have to buy it from a practical viewpoint. Your first investment should go, when you get your money in the beginning of the week, you should first pay your bills. When you get your check, you should pay your bills, buy your food, make your investment. The S&P has performed way better than silver. It has outperformed gold over the long term. You should make an investment into the S&P 500. Just buy, like SPY, SPY, just buy one of those ETFs. Then you should buy gold or silver. That is exactly what the average person should do. Look at this. Absolutely awesome. And it does. If you do it the right way, look at this. We could sit here and we could sit here and go through coins all night. We could sit here and just go through it. It takes time. Unless you're a millionaire, if you are buying a couple of weeks, couple of months, it takes a long time to get to where I'm at. And I know I'm not trying to brag, don't get me wrong. I love it. Like, you don't even know. Well, maybe you do know if you're watching this video. But it takes time, but it is an amazing way to save money. I've said it in some of my other videos. If you can save $1,000 cash, it'll change your life. If you can save $5,000 worth of silver, and I would say, we got on this table right now, all of it on the table right now. Just one of those books is over $5,000. But if you can get to $5,000 in silver, it will literally change your life. No one will ever have to tell you anything again. But just be careful when you see those videos. Maybe I should do a better job with putting charts up and stuff like that. But when you see them videos, yes, it is true. The LBMA did have problems. That is true. But it will be absorbed. The gold market, we're talking about central banks. That's what we're talking. We're talking about central banks. The problem will be resolved. Gold is going to keep going up because of this drastic market tariffs, and so gold is going. It's going to continue to go up over the next few weeks. Gold's probably going to go 3,060. 3,120. Silver, is probably going to top 34 in the next couple of weeks. But it will come back down. Now, I will say this since I'm on the subject. I personally don't believe we will ever see silver under $27 an ounce ever again. It may, before Trump leaves office, depending on what he does, we may see it back down in the low 30s. 30, 31, we may. But I don't think we'll ever see it under 27 ever again for the rest of my life. Ever again in the history of mankind. It will never, I don't believe, ever come below 27. I believe we are past that. You know, money, debt, national debt, I think that's behind us. Gold, I don't think we will ever see it under 26, 27. I don't think 25 for sure. We'll probably never see it go under 25 ever again. But that's my viewpoint on it. I'm not, I could be wrong. I don't think I am. But if you want to save money, if you want to buy gold and silver, please don't ever buy it emotionally. They want you to run out and buy 10 ounces and then have to sell it to them in 2 weeks. That's what they want you to do. They don't, they make their money, when you buy it, you get a $2.50 premium, $3 premium depending on what you buy. It's normally around $2.50 premium. And then when you sell it back to them, they're never going to pay you spot. They're always going to pay you under. So, they just made a quick, depending on how many ounces you buy. Let's say you go buy 100 ounces. They just made a couple $100 off of you, in 2 weeks. That's what they want you to do. Don't buy emotionally. Silver is not going to $500 overnight. Not happening. I know people love to shoot them videos out. That's not the way silver operates. I can sit here, I done made a video about it. I can go through the list of how it has done its job. A lot of the stuff we pay, and a lot of the stuff, not everything, but a lot of the stuff we buy, we are paying a lot of profit to the companies. Go look at what people are paying for food in Mexico at Walmart. It will blow your mind. Go look at what they're buying four-wheelers, ATVs for at Walmart in Mexico. Go look at what eggs cost in Mexico, and bread, and milk, and cereal. It's at Walmart. So how are they paying, $1.50 in Mexico for a dozen eggs, and we're paying $5-6 in America? How are they paying $1,800 for a brand new ATV in Mexico, and we're paying $7,000-8,000 in America? Just go look at the prices that Walmart has in Mexico versus America, or really in a lot of other countries. We pay a lot of our inflation, a lot of it's going to profit. Some of these companies are at 50% profit. 50%. Maybe I should do a video on that. Go through all the list of things that profit is at 50 and above. 50% and above. It is a lot of items. But real quick, before I end the video, I'm already at 19 minutes and I've just been rambling. The next video, I'm going to try to do the difference, the differences in the red, yellow, blue seal. Hopefully we can get that done. But for new collectors, those of you that are new collectors, this right here is one of the best ways for you to get started collecting. You can go on Whatnot, especially, and eBay, and you can get these really close to spot price. That is the goal. You want to buy as close to spot as you can. So let's say the melt value of this is $18. You want to get it as close to that as you can. You know, if it's $20, you want to get, you don't want to, and you can. That's the great thing about Canadian. They are beautiful coins. I mean, look at this one. Look at this one. I mean, look at that. Look at that. I should send this one in to get it graded. I mean, Canada, there's one thing Canada does right. It is their coins. I mean, they have some of the most beautiful coins. I should have got out some Canadian maple leafs. I mean, they do an amazing job on their coins. I had somewhere in here, I had the king, and I don't see him. There we go. I mean, they do a great job. And you can get their coins really close. I mean, these right here, these are Canadian quarters. You can get these really close. $4, I think $5 is the melt value, $4 or $5. A lot of times you can get them right at melt. Excuse me. I bought today, I got some half dollars here. And today I was on Whatnot and I bid on some walkers and I got them all. I got 4 of them, $11 a piece. I thought that was a pretty good deal. And I got some Canadian 1.5 ounce Canadian maple leaves, 1.5 ounce, $47. I thought that was a pretty good deal. And if anyone's interested, you can leave in the comments when I get a package, show what I buy every couple of weeks or every week. I normally buy something every week, so I normally get like 1 or 2 packages a week. If anyone would be interested in seeing what I actively purchase, I'll be happy to show it. Check out this coin. I got this the other day. This Peru. I got this one on Whatnot. It's a pretty coin. But the idea is to buy as close to melt as you can. And something else with the Morgan silver dollar, before you start buying Morgans, you need to take the time to learn the dates and the mint marks. Like this right here is an 1884. 1884-0. Very common coin. If it was an 1884 Carson City, a little different. It'd be worth a couple $100. This coin, it's not worth but about $45. I mean, the condition does bring the price up a lot. But you need to learn dates and mint marks. But for new collectors, a great place to start your collection is with Canadian coins because you can get them really close to the spot price of silver. And that is a great place to start. Another thing is I did not realize when I first started to make these videos how much work it takes to set up for a video. Like tonight, I was going to set up a bunch of coins. I was going to set it to make it look really cool. And man, I was like, good night. It's so much work. Like I was going to open the books and stuff like that. And I was like, I got done stacking. Because that's a lot of coins, man. It's a lot. And I got about halfway done. And I was like, my goodness, man. This is a lot of work, But I do have a stand coming in for the phone. And I do have a sheet, but a black sheet that might help. But the main point is don't buy gold and silver off of emotion. Buy it practical viewpoint. Buy it, pay your bills, see what money you have left over, then you can buy you some gold and silver. And one day, if you're a multimillionaire, hey, knock yourself out. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to a guy in Lafayette, Benjamin. Man, thank you for hearing from you. It's nice hearing from you. Thank you for checking out my YouTube channel. I'll tell a quick funny story. Benjamin used to be my boss years and years and years ago. When I first started working with Benjamin, at the time, I've told the story on my YouTube videos that I had, I used to had some bad drug problem. And the doctor that I was going and seeing, he was a behavioral doctor. Benjamin didn't know that. He didn't know about my problems. And he looked over my paperwork, and my doctor is a behavioral doctor, but he's also a gynecologist. And that is all that Benjamin saw. He didn't know he didn't know my story. He just saw my paperwork and saw that I was going to a gynecologist every month. So for the longest time, he didn't say anything to me, but for the longest time, he thought I was transgender. Anyway, that's a funny story, and that is a true story. He did. He never said anything, and then, after we had worked together for, man, it had to have been a year or two. Finally, one day, we got to talking, and I told him a little bit about myself, and he just started busting out laughing, like, dude, I thought you were transgender. I was like, why? He said, you see a gynecologist every month. And I was like, no, dude, I was a drug addict. And he is he's like a behavioral therapist. He does multiple things. But anyway, that's a funny story. But also, if anyone has anything they would like to say or add, or any questions, anything, please leave it in the comments below. And, what do you think? I'm not going to act like I know everything. I know I don't know everything. I just think that the average person shouldn't be worried about the LBMA. I think we should be buying it from a practical viewpoint, and not with emotion. But anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. I'm sorry it's been a few days, but we'll get back on track. Hopefully, in 2 or 3 days, I'll be able to make the video on the seals. Please like and subscribe. Have a great night.